Today our topic is trading possibility curve. In our previous lesson we talked about the comparative advantage. Like if a country has lower opportunity cost to produce a good than another country, so definitely it will specialize in that product where it has opportunity cost. So all the countries which are specializing, they will depend upon their comparative advantage or their opportunity cost ratios. Now the question is how the countries will trade with each other. For example, when our export prices are higher than our domestic market prices, world price level is higher than the domestic price level, definitely a country will export the goods. How we say this is what, for example, this is our domestic market demand, this is domestic supply. So when world price is higher than the domestic price, so we say a country is going to export this level. Yeah? And how imports will take place when imported goods prices are going to be lower than the domestic price level. This is the world price and this is the home price of the product. So we say this volume is going to be imports of the goods. But this is what is happening in our market with respect to world price level of the goods we are exporting and importing. Now by using the comparative advantage theory, we want to see what are the trading possibilities for a countries according to their opportunity cost ratios. This is we are going to find out in our today's topic. So how can we find these things? I am going to recall your concepts about comparative advantage. We use these two countries, country X, country Y, and we were producing rice and coffee. I think so we were using these two products. So here we were taking 250 and 500. And here I was taking 100 or 400. That was our production level of the two countries. Then we found their ratios, their opportunity cost ratios, they were like this. Now, in our comparative advantage theory, we define that country X has lower opportunity cost to produce rice because by sacrificing 2 tons of coffee, it is able to produce 1 ton of rice. Whereas country Y has to give up 4 tons of coffee to produce 1 ton of rice. So country X has lower opportunity cost to produce rice and country Y will have lower opportunity cost to produce coffee. Clear? Now I am going to draw the production possibility curve as we did in our previous lesson. Here I am taking coffee and here I am taking rice. So this is the TPC. Here I am taking 500 tons of coffee and 250. That is going to be the production of rice. This is what we mean. When all resources are employed in rice, 250 tons of rice are produced. And when all resources are employed in coffee, the 500 tons are produced. What is their ratio? 1 to 2. Okay? Oh, sorry. Here it is 1 and here it is 2. Now this country is having comparative advantage in rice. Okay. Now see what happens within their own country. If they give up 1 ton of rice, they will be able to get 2 tons of coffee. But if international market, if the trading terms of trade, you can say that is 1 into 3. This is TOT means terms of trade. So from international market, it is gaining more than the domestic production. For example, listen over here. If half of the resources were applied to each good, this is the production of half production of rice and half production of coffee. But a country will remain along its PPC, cannot consume and produce above PPC. Now this is the trading possibility curve. It starts from here. So now country is going to trade at this point, where we find that this is the export of rice. What it is? This is the vertical distance is showing us the export of rice, and this is the import of coffee. 3 tons are imported by exporting 1 single ton of rice. Do you think this point was attainable within given resources of country X? That was unattainable because it was lying above the PPC of the country. And if country was allocating half resources to each good, it was remained at the point along PPC. Now this point which was unattainable within given potential of the country, due to international trade, this point has become attainable. And you can see this quantity of exports will bring more quantity of imports than the domestic market. Clear? Now see the gap between, this is the trading possibility curve. This line is the trading possibility curve, or terms of trade you can say. So the gap between these two lines is gains from trade. Gains from trade.
From international trade?
Yes, from international trade. If this line is becoming further away from PPC of the country, more gains of trade will be enjoyed by that. And if it becomes closer to the PPC, there will be less and less gains. Okay, listen first. If international market is having the same ratio as 1:2, do you think country X will trade? Because it is not going to trade because there is no difference to have from international market. The ratio is same. So they will only trade when this trading possibility is in between their opportunity cost ratios. Yes, then this trading ratio is in between their opportunity cost ratio, like 1:2. If it is 1:2.5 or 1:3 or 1:3.5, then these countries are going to involve in international trade. Otherwise, they will not trade with each other. Clear? Now come towards the other country. The country Y. Here I am taking coffee, and here I am taking rice. Now, what is the opportunity, the PPC of this country? Here it is 400 and this is 100. Isn't it? The same thing. Now again, this country is having comparative advantage in the production of coffee. So if half of the resources are also allocated by this country, so this much of output of 2 goods will be produced by that country and it will remain along its PPC. Clear? Now if this is also going to, this is country X, this is country X and this is country Y. Alright? Now this country is having comparative advantage in the production of coffee. See over here, by giving up 4 tons of coffee, it will be able to get 1 ton of rice within its own country. International market says if you export 3 tons of coffee, we will give you 1 ton of Clear? You can also see as this trading possibility curve is lying away from the PPC of the country, so the country will have gains from trade. Alright? The gains from trade will increase when trading possibility curve is lying away from the PPC of the country. Alright? Now, if this trading possibility curve is becoming closer to the PPC, gains from trade will decrease for that country. Clear? Now this is what the trading possibility curve in terms of the goods. I haven't taken the value, the price of each good over here. I have explained the things with respect to the number of units which are traded between the two countries. Now, terms of trade basically that comes under monetary world when countries are trading in terms of money instead of barter trade. That is totally the thought about the exchange of goods with goods. Now I am going to bring this same thing.
This was the barter trade.
Yes. Now I am going to use the same concept for terms of trade in terms of money. So terms of trade, TOT, or terms of trade. Terms of trade. It shows by exporting 1 unit of a good, how many units of imports will be financed. For example, country X was exporting 1 ton of rice to finance 3 tons of coffee. It means the 1 ton of rice price is 3 times higher than coffee. So that terms of trade will be in favor of the country when it is exporting 1 unit to finance more than 1 unit of its imports. So it is the ratio between export price index to the import price index. Do you remember the meaning of index? Index means an average number, and we take the base value of index as 100. Now TOT can be written like this: export price index divided by import price index into 100. Okay? So how many units of exports are going to finance? How many units of imports are financed by 1 unit of export of a country? For example, all the export prices, they are summed up to 100 as average, and this is also 100. So base year TOT is 100. This is the base year. Clear? Now I am going to explain it by using the values. If export prices increase by 25% and import prices increase by 10%. So what is TOT? Can we find it? TOT means export prices will have increased by 25%, so its index will be 125, and the import prices they have increased by 10%, so it is 110. Now find its value. You will see it will be more than 100. Find it out. 1 change in terms of rate with respect to base year?
30.
Okay, with respect to base year, 0.6 minus 100, we get the value 13.6%. It means our export prices are 13.6% higher than our import prices. So this value is a positive one. We say terms of trade is favorable. What it is? It is in the favor of the country that our export prices are growing more than our import prices. The terms of trade is in our favor. Now take another example. If export prices increase by 25%, but import prices they increase by 50%. Now what will be the value of terms of trade? Now it is 150 now. What is the answer? 83.3, I think.
Yes.
Okay. Now the change in terms of trade, 83.3 minus 100, that is 16.66 minus. It is in minus sign. So it is now less than 0. It is a negative sign with it. So we say now our export prices are 16.66 lower than our import prices on average. So this is unfavorable. This is what? Unfavorable. Favorable TOT. It is unfavorable terms of trade. Clear or not? So we find this thing that how this terms of trade can improve. If our export prices are growing faster than import prices, terms of trade will be favorable. Or you see, import prices do not change, but there is an increase in export prices, again terms of trade will be favorable. If import prices do not change, but export prices are increasing. So in two cases we see it has improved. Or we say when export prices are decreasing but import prices are decreasing by more rate, then definitely denominator is having more value, overall terms of trade will improve. Or we say export prices remain same but import prices are falling, so again we will have a favorable condition for our terms of trade. You can also see when our exchange rate appreciates, our export prices will rise and import prices will fall and terms of trade will become favorable. But when our exchange rate depreciates, so what happens? Export prices will fall and import prices will increase, so terms of trade will become unfavorable. It depends what type of goods a country is exporting, whether they are income elastic or income inelastic. Usually due to global increase in income level, if our exports are primary, so globally there is less spending increased on those goods, so their prices are growing with a very smaller pace. Whereas if the goods are income elastic, then export prices will further increase. Okay, so in that case terms of trade will be favorable. Or sometimes we are having inelastic imports like oil prices, if they are increasing, so oil exporting countries they will have favorable terms of trade, whereas oil importing countries they will have unfavorable terms of trade. So this is the main topic. We started from trading possibility curve and we converted the same concept into terms of trade to see whether countries having favorable terms of trade or unfavorable. One more thing, in your MCQs the two values are given, like there are three values: export price, import So any type of MCQ we will see after the completion of this syllabus, how prices they are going to affect the terms of trade. So that will be in our next lesson. Thank you.